As a B2B business owner, what I wanted to do today is share with you, as one B2B business owner to another, the key thing you need to be doing each and every month to make sure that you're tracking to where you want to go. Now, one thing I like to do right from the beginning of the year is create a clear focus. A clear focus on what is the key target or driver that we're really driving forward for the next 3 months, 6 months. And then ultimately, if it's the first 3 or 6 months, it's then what are we doing after we achieve that in that 3 or 6 month period? In other words, what is the one KPI that we want to drive forward from there? Now, when we look through this lens of what's the one key thing we want to improve in the business, it narrows our focus. We can then look at, not that other stats aren't important and other areas of the business aren't important, but what's the stat inside of our business that we can help to drive and all of us focus on, and if we can improve that, we're likely to improve the business. Now, for us this year at scale, it was client retention. Lead gen is one of these things that clients typically roll in and out of, and it can differ, but it's particularly difficult in the B2B space because once there's 30, 60, 90 leads in the pipeline within a 3-month period, typically that's enough for a lot of businesses in order to fill their pipeline for 6-9 months, and therefore they feel like it's easy to just pause. So I guess what we really looked at this year is what's the key factor there that's going to help us? What's the KPIs that are going to help us to improve and therefore improve client retention? So for us this year, that is renewal rate. So what percentage of our clients have engaged us longer than that first 3 months? So that is a key stat that we looked to drive through the first 6 months of the year, and we lifted this dramatically. We actually, it's about over doubled that stat, which has seen us grow dramatically this year. And from there, we've then gone, okay, probably the next thing that we need to look at is how do we drive better profitability. Now, we've already strong profitable business, but this is something that we just looked at improving our finance processes and particularly how we control our costs as we scale. And that's the key thing that we're doing at the moment. So that's a pretty easy one. We look at profitability. But other key stats that we look at inside of the business are our profit percentage, real income per month per client. So in other words, we look at what is our income for a month and how many active clients do we have on our books. And if we can increase that over time, then ultimately we've got a more profitable business. The other one is real profit per client, which is our profit divided by our active client base. So again, we want to obviously see that going up and becoming a more profitable business. From a delivery perspective, we look at how many active clients do we have? How many clients did we offboard? How many clients are pre-go live, and how many clients did we sell for the period? Other key stats we look at there, average lifetime value of our customers, and therefore that then flows onto our real monthly lifetime value of our customers. So in other words, what does our monthly spend on average customer look like? What's our average engagement length of our customers? Average months paid per customer. The difference there being for us is that we do have a guarantee that we will work for free if we don't achieve our targets. Therefore, we want to close the gap between our engagement length and our average months paid. And then we've got our MRR, our monthly recurring revenue. Again, this is something that we want to see go up, ultimately on the basis that we're improving our renewal rate as well. So if we can see that edge up to where we want to be, then we know that we don't have to sign as many clients each and every month. Within, I guess, a few other things that we look at are marketing and sales. We look at number of leads we've had, number of leads we've generated, number of sales calls we've had, number of clients we've closed, and our close rate for the month. And then we also look at internally, look at our staff satisfaction, what our daily booking rates for our callers are. So what percentage of our callers are booked every day over the course of the month, and then our client show up rate. So our show up rates for our clients. So if we can improve that, we can improve the outcomes that they're getting. So the point here is I've listed off a few different things that we look at, but when you start to think about what's the number one important thing for the moment, it would be typically it's either a marketing problem, a sales problem, or a delivery problem. Putting a statistic on that, so a measurement on that you can measure over time, will then help you to improve it. That's the number one thing that we as business owners can do to continue to improve our business, identify the holes in the business, measure those holes, and then close the gap. That's ultimately what's going to help you to scale.